What would you do if you found a pregnant dog abandoned on the street, trembling with fear, but still wagging her tail with hope? This is the story of Micky, a brave mom who was left to fend for herself when she needed help the most. With her enormous belly about to burst, she faced the most vulnerable moment of her life completely alone. But what happened after we found her is a story of love, resilience, and the miracle of motherhood that will fill you with hope. Get ready to meet Micky and her 5 little miracles. Micky was abandoned on the street, left to her own fate at the worst possible moment. Her belly was visibly huge, and it was evident to anyone who saw her that she was about to give birth. Imagine the cruelty of abandoning a pregnant dog, leaving her to face alone one of the most dangerous and delicate moments of her life. But despite everything, despite the fear she must have been feeling, despite the betrayal of those who should have cared for her, Micky trembled but hadn't lost her spirit. What impacted us most when we first saw her was her incredible willingness to trust. Despite the evident anxiety in every fiber of her being, she wagged her tail constantly and offered a warm and friendly smile to everyone who approached. It was as if she was saying, "Please, help me, but I won't hurt you. I trust you." This combination of vulnerability and trust was absolutely heartbreaking and beautiful at the same time. Micky desperately needed help, but remained gentle and affectionate, even in her most vulnerable state. She showed no aggression, didn't try to bite or pull away. On the contrary, she sought human contact, sought help with those eyes full of hope. She had been alone on the street for more than a full day, exposed to all the dangers that the streets represent for a dog in her condition. The fear in her eyes was undeniable. Anyone could see it. But her resilience was also evident. The moment we saw her, we knew without a doubt that she needed a safe place, both for herself and for her puppies who were about to be born. We couldn't simply leave her there. We couldn't allow her to give birth on the cold streets, without protection, without help, without the medical attention she might need if something went wrong. We made the decision immediately. Micky would come with us. Micky was welcomed into our home, where she finally found a warm and safe place to give birth. The relief on her face when she first entered a protected space was palpable. We spent time comforting her, speaking to her softly, assuring her that she was now safe. She never showed any sign of frustration or irritation, only gratitude and trust. She let herself be touched, let herself be examined, accepted our care with a humility and sweetness that broke our hearts. A mother as friendly and gentle as Micky would undoubtedly be a loving and caring mother to her puppies. We could see it in the way she moved carefully despite her heavy belly, in the way she looked at us with those eyes full of gratitude. In preparation for the big day, we provided her with all the nutrition and supplements necessary to ensure she remained strong. She needed to be in the best possible condition for delivery and for nursing her babies. Each day that passed, her belly became heavier and bigger. We could feel her puppies moving inside her, little paws pushing against the stretched skin of her abdomen. We talked to her frequently, placing a gentle hand on her belly, assuring her that she was no longer alone, that we would be there for her throughout the entire process. "You're no longer a street dog, Micky. Now you're part of our family." Finally, the long-awaited day arrived. Micky went into labor, and we were by her side every moment. It was a long process, but she was incredibly brave. And one by one, her puppies began to be born. First 1, then 2, 3, 4, and finally 5. Micky gave birth to 5 healthy and beautiful puppies. Everything went well, without complications, and she embraced her new role with pure joy. Seeing Micky with her newborns was one of the most beautiful scenes we have ever witnessed. The warmth of her soft bed made the winter cold seem distant, and she had everything she needed to care for her babies. We watched her lick them one by one, making sure they were clean and warm. She pulled them close to her belly so they could feed. She constantly counted them with her gaze, as if she wanted to make sure all 5 of her treasures were present and safe. It was a beautiful and emotional scene. Micky, a dog previously abandoned and terrified on the streets, was now a happy mother, surrounded by love and care. Her transformation was remarkable. She no longer trembled with fear. She no longer had that look of constant anxiety. Instead, there was a peace in her eyes, a deep satisfaction in knowing that her babies were safe. Day after day, her puppies grew stronger. At first, they were so small, so fragile, barely able to crawl toward their mother to feed. But as the weeks passed, they began to open their little eyes, to move more, to timidly explore the space around their little bed. By day 40, they were active, playful, and full of life. They scampered everywhere, chased each other, played with their little toys. Micky nurtured them with infinite patience and unconditional love, ensuring they were always safe. If one wandered too far, she gently brought it back with her snout. If they cried, she immediately attended to them. She never lost patience, never tired of being a mom. She had completely transformed from a frightened and lonely dog into a dedicated and happy mother. Watching her transformation day by day was absolutely inspiring. This was the same dog who had been abandoned, left to face the birth of her puppies alone on the cold streets. But love, care, and security had worked wonders on her. Now she was confident, happy, fulfilled in her role as a mother. By day 90, Micky and her 5 puppies were thriving in a way that exceeded all our hopes. Their lives were now filled with joy, security, and infinite love. The puppies had grown enormously, each developing their own unique personality, and Micky watched them with evident maternal pride, knowing she had done a wonderful job raising them. Micky's story reminds us of something fundamental, that even in the darkest moments when all seems lost, love and compassion can change everything. Micky could have given birth on the streets. Her puppies might not have survived. She herself could have died from complications during delivery. But thanks to a simple act of kindness, her entire story changed. Now, she and her 5 babies have a bright future ahead, full of possibilities that never would have existed if we had left her on that street. If Micky's story has touched your heart, if it has reminded you of the importance of helping the most vulnerable animals, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Here we share rescue stories of brave mothers like Micky and of the transformation that love can create. Every subscription helps us continue rescuing and caring for more animals who need our help. Hit the bell so you don't miss any inspiring story. Thank you for being part of Micky's story and for believing that every life deserves to be saved.